Jim Breeze from LearnAirbnb.com, and today I'm joined by Derek Davis from the Shared Economy CPA.
Thanks for having me, Jim. I'm excited to be here.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. So today we're going to talk about the 2016 tax updates, what that means for you, and then after that, Derek's going to tell us about an offer that Shared Economy CPA is going to extend to you for this 2016 tax season. So let's get started and start on our presentation.
So we're about to hop into the presentation right now, and what we're going to cover is taxes for this upcoming tax season, and that will be for the year ended December 31st, 2015. And your taxes this year will actually be due on April 18th, 2016. Reason being is that there's a holiday on April 15th. So make note of the 2 extra days. A little bit about Shared Economy CPA. We've launched live in October of 2014. Currently, we're seeing around 2,500 unique visitors each month, and we've helped at least 500 people who've booked us through the website, and we have at least 4 Airbnb clients who are grossing over $500,000. So I would say at least 80% of our clients are Airbnb hosts, primarily because there is much higher earning potential as well as complex tax rules, which is what warrants a CPA. One of the coolest facts about us is that we've spent $0 on marketing. And so we've grown completely organically. We've partnered with great companies such as Learn Airbnb, and we're really hopeful in the future and where the growth is going. So let's jump into the content. The basics is you will be receiving a 1099. The 1099 will be the gross amount that you earned for your Airbnb. And what I mean by gross is that what's reported on your Airbnb dashboard is net of the 3% commission fees that are being charged to you by Airbnb. However, when you receive the 1099, it's the total amount. So it's important that you deduct the commission fee from your taxes on your tax forms, otherwise you'll be overpaying your taxes. The other key thing to note about the 1099 is that Airbnb will send you a 1099 as well as one to the IRS. So it's really important that the 2 numbers line up on your tax return, because if the amount that's recorded on your tax form is less than what is reported on your 1099, you will automatically be sent a letter from the IRS. And naturally, no one wants to get a letter from the IRS. So the biggest question that we get from Airbnb hosts is what tax form to put it on. And the 2 primary tax forms that we see is either Schedule C or Schedule E. Some important things to note about a Schedule C is that you will be taxed at the self-employment tax rate of 15.3%, which obviously is more tax because it sits on top of your personal income tax. But one of the positive things about that is that you can net that potential income against other losses. So what I mean by that is that if you first started up your Airbnb and you had a loss of say $3,000, however you have a side consulting business that made $5,000, you can net the losses against you can net the $3,000 of losses against the $5,000 of income on your consulting business. So that also reduces your taxes. With regards to Schedule E, one of the primary benefits of that is that there's no self-employment taxes. But there are special rules of netting losses from a Schedule C and a Schedule E. To kind of determine which is the best tax form for you, check out the material participation test, which is provided by the IRS. And that will kind of help guide you on which is the correct tax form that you should use. So I would say at least on a daily basis, we always have clients that reach out to us and they ask us, Derek, how do we pay less tax? They are stoked on how much money that they make throughout the year, but when it comes down to taxes, they're appalled and more or less horrified when they see how much tax they owe. And the key to paying less taxes is your business expenses. And what business expenses are defined by the IRS is expenses that are the cost of carrying on for your trade or business. And the underlying premise is that you're operating your business to make a profit. So, what exactly can you deduct? And what the IRS has said is that to deduct an expense, it needs to be both ordinary and necessary. Ordinary is one that is typical in your trade or business. So for Airbnb hosts, an ordinary expense would be the cleaning supplies that you purchase to operate your Airbnb, or the new bed sheets and linens that you had to purchase for your Airbnb. And necessary is one that is absolutely necessary for you running your business, such as Wi-Fi, because in this day and age, if you don't have Wi-Fi, your Airbnb listing is not going to survive. What isn't a necessary business expense is getting table service at Vegas. Unfortunately, that has not been deductible. And if you do try to deduct, um, you know, getting table service in Vegas, you will be potentially audited for that. So specifically, here are some key 2016 tax updates. And as we've said before, taxes are due this year on April 18th. Another important tax update is that, for better or worse, the standard mileage deduction is dropped to 54 cents for 2016. So that won't affect you until next year when you file your tax returns. One of the important things to note is that if you say drive to Target or Bed Bath and Beyond or one of those similar stores to purchase things exclusively for your Airbnb, that is considered tax deductible and you can write that off. With regards to miles, there's only two tax deductions that you can take. It's either the standard mileage deduction, which is for this tax season, it's 56 cents, or you can take actual costs. It's important to note, though, that you can't take both. Another big tax update for this year is the ACA penalties. For those of you that aren't aware, there are increased ACA penalties for this tax season. ACA is the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, and the penalties are continuously increasing. So make sure that you get health insurance, because if you don't, you will be penalized, and the minimum amount is either $285 or 2% of your income over a certain threshold. In addition to that, the tax brackets for 2016 has slightly risen, so it's really important that when you file your taxes, you know not only how much tax you owe, but where you stand on the tax brackets. Because if you are on the borderline of a lower tax bracket, it's really important that you go and you look over your expenses again to make sure that you're calculating everything to get you down to that lower tax bracket. The last thing, but one of the most important things for you and all Airbnb hosts to be aware of, is the room and board taxes and whether or not it's included in your 1099. So if you live in a city such as San Francisco or Washington, D.C. that has a room and board tax collected on your behalf, make sure that you know and understand your 1099, because that room and board tax may be included in your 1099 and you'll want to make sure that you deduct that amount. Otherwise, again, as the 3% commission fee, you'll be overpaying your tax. So let's go over a few tax tips for this tax season. It's really important that you do keep clean records and you search all financial statements. So for a lot of our clients, we have them look not only at their Venmo and their PayPal, but we obviously look at their bank statements and receipts. It's really important that you search all of any sort of financial records that you have. Go back and look over it again, because you'll oftentimes see little payments, $100, $200 here and there in your PayPal or your Venmo, for example. And over time and after aggregating all these expenses, they end up being a really large tax deduction, and it really helps you reduce the amount of taxes that you owe. The last but not least, make sure you know what you can deduct, because it's important that you are taking every tax deduction that is applicable to you. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is Derek@Shared Economy CPA. If you're impatient and you just want a quick answer, just send me a quick tweet. But generally speaking, email is the best way to reach me.
Alright, so that concludes our presentation on the 2016 tax updates for Airbnb hosts. And I also said there was going to be an offer from Derek from the Shared Economy CPA for you, the viewers. So Derek, could you tell us a little bit more about that offer?
Yeah, for sure, Jim. So for this tax season loan, we're offering $50 off all C Corp as well as S Corp tax prep for your Airbnb.
Alright, cool. And so, how long have you been in the Airbnb tax business? Have you helped a lot of hosts? How long have you been around for?
Yeah, definitely. So I've been a CPA now for over 6 years, and I've been exclusively focusing on the sharing economy for about a year and a half now. And I would say at least 80% of our clients are Airbnb hosts, primarily because they earn more money, and therefore they have special tax rules and also tax deductions that are applicable to them.
Alright, cool. So Derek's been around for a long time. He knows a lot about Airbnb taxes and the tax situation that you're probably in right now. So take advantage of Derek's very generous offer. You can visit learnairbnb.com/tax offer. The URL is on the bottom of the screen here. And make sure you take advantage of that offer. It doesn't last long. The taxes are due on April 18th. They're not due on the 15th because there is a holiday on that day. So again, get in contact with Derek sooner than later so he can help you out with your Airbnb taxes this season. Alright, that concludes our presentation on the 2016 tax updates for Airbnb hosts. Thank you for watching. Make sure you take advantage of Derek's very generous offer. And if you have any questions, Derek, how can the viewers get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. My email is Derek, DEREK, at sharedeconomycpa.com, or you could just check out our website where our phone numbers are listed, which is sharedeconomycpa.com.
You can get a hold of Derek at his email address. You can also get a hold of us at info@learnairbnb.com. Again, if you want to take advantage of the offer, visit learnairbnb.com/tax offer. Thank you for viewing, and again, happy hosting on Airbnb in 2016. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.